Red One. I think Red One. Are you over there in Ghana, Mr. Red?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not, brother.
Well, no, where you at?
I'm in Ethiopia.
Ethiopia. There you go. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, brother?
I am good, my friend. How are you? What's on your mind?
Good. I have just a one question.
Go ahead.
So, if the other group in the United States, even like African, immigrants, they organize themselves. They can like united, even create like institutions for themselves, like education, schools. Why don't the African Americans, the FBA, don't do the same thing? Like for example, do you consider yourself as a leader?
Okay, let's start. Okay, let's start over because I'm kind of having a little trouble understanding what you're saying. You said, okay, why don't foundational Black Americans do what like other groups? Now, other groups do what?
They unite themselves. They do like they pull resources together, and then they create, like companies. Like they kind of organize it. That's what I was trying to say.
They organize like who? Give me some examples of who are these immigrant groups organized.
Like African immigrants, Asians and white people and all groups.
So what are they doing that we're not doing? You haven't explained that. What are these immigrants? Okay, let's say some Ethiopians over here. What are they doing that we haven't done?
All right. So before he explained, let me just separate the truth from fallacy. So the top immigrant groups in the country that's doing better than white Americans and black Americans, hands down, are Nigerians, Chinese, and Indians. Like that's it. Okay. And the reason why they're doing better than Americans, black or white, is because they represent the Nigerians, the a lot of the Chinese, and a lot of the Indians that come to the country. They represent the top 5% of their country. So they are the elitists. They are the Illuminati of their country. So of course, if you bring your top best, you remember the movies that they had where they like Rocky, Arnold Schwarzenegger, they had these top militant guys to go complete a mission. Like, there's no secret that they're going to complete the mission. These are the best people that the military can offer, the U.S. military can offer, right? So, same thing. If countries send their best top representatives, right, educated, skilled, and wealthy to another country, Canada, UK, or America, they're going to flourish, all right? That they're supposed to. They're the top 5%. They're the elite. Okay. So what people like this Tether do is that that's not a fair comparison. You don't compare an elitist group to the average normal people, right? In America, because in America you got a lot of people who got bachelors, and bullshit, associates, no degree at all, trade school experiences or entrepreneur things. You dig? High school graduate, dropout, GED, whatever. It's not fair to compare those people to an elitist group that's highly educated, bachelors in engineering or technology or in tech science, you did medical things like that, PhDs. That's not a fair comparison. But you'll see people make that comparison a lot in America, and you got to call them out. So you're at the right channel. That's called hyper selection, hyper selectivity. You got to call them out. Like, no, you can't compare a country's top elite to the average American, and we can't compare our top. That's like South Africa comparing Elon Musk to the average me. And you dig like, yeah, what are we doing? Yeah, comparing to Bill Gates and other folks, Walmart, Amazon, Bezos, those guys. That's in his, bracket, his financial bracket. You got to tax bracket. You got to compare him to those folks, not us. Compare elite to elite, and you compare normal to normal and poor with poor. And the poor of America is better than any poor in the world. So we're not going to do mismatch, mixed matches. We're not going to do that. Well, I'm not going to allow that. So I'm going to stop him right there. So Tariq's going to argue his own argument. But I'm saying that the Chinese, the Indians, and the Nigerians, shout out to them. I'm not knocking them. but they represent their elitist class coming over in America. Now, when you talk about Sudanese people, Ethiopians, he just named, no, they're not outperforming us because they're not the top elite in their country. They are refugees or asylum seekers. They're running from war, tyranny, things like that. These are cowards who are fleeing. All right. So I want to give some context. Piece of the chat, piece I'm here, but let's give some context. And this is the value I bring. Like I do deep research analysis. So now let Tariq answer the way he want to answer, but my answer is the answer. You dig? Let's go.
Yeah, they do. Like they start the businesses, they hire like their people and like create jobs for themselves too. That's what I'm talking about.
You do know we do have black businesses, right? We have black businesses. We've always had black businesses. Do you think we?
So
What makes you think we don't have black businesses?
you do have a business, but like you are like a large community, but like it's not that like compared to immigrants, like 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 African immigrants, Asians, they all like doing better than you guys.
Really? Where?
You see?
How?
Like look at the numbers, look at the numbers, statistics,
Okay, tell me. Okay, I'm doing better than us. How? What
All right. So,
over here?
like the Nigerians, the Ethiopians.
okay, you see, he said Nigerian. So now this guy's not Nigerian. He's Ethiopian. So you would expect him to like represent Ethiopians and show how Ethiopians are doing better than us, or Sudanese people, or Ghanaians, somebody else. But he mixed himself in with Nigerians, and a guy like myself who's well researched, I won't allow that. I say, hey, brother, where you from? Ethiopia. Okay, talk about Ethiopians doing better than the average white American, the average black American, the average Hispanic American, and I will entertain that. But you're not going to cape for another nationality. No, no, we could talk about that, but let's first deal with Ethiopians. You're not doing better than nobody in America. When you come over here, you come over here as fleers, running from war, conflict, tyranny, bad, corrupt government, shit like that. So no, so let's exclude you first, and then we could talk about somebody else, the Nigerians, the Indians, and the Chinese. But we need to address that immediately. Like I said, Tariq argues the way he argues, but the way I will argue, clear, point blank, gotcha.
The Somalians.
Okay, where are the Nigerian wealthy neighborhoods in America?
Like they're doing all kind of businesses though. Like
Where are the? Okay, sir, I'm asking you. You said Nigeria, and I'm asking you, where are the
He doesn't know.
Nigerian wealthy neighborhoods
This is
in
just pure hatred
America?
for
Since they're
FBA
doing so much
Adolf.
better, where are the Nigerian neighborhoods?
like I don't have like specific neighborhoods, but like
Okay. Well, what are the Nigerian businesses? What are the Nigerian businesses that are doing so much better than us? You said it. Now you gotta. If you say it, you have to show and prove. What are the Nigerian businesses?
yeah. Then I have another question.
No. Don't do that. No, sir. You said something, and then when I asked you to elaborate, now you want to change the subject. So why did you say something that you knew was false? What you said was false.
Dang.
And then I'm asking you to elaborate on what you said.
Right.
And now you want to change the subject.
No, I'm not changing. I'm not changing. I don't have
Then
like.
why did you say they were doing so much better? And then I said, okay, name the Nigerian areas, that's better, and name the damn Nigerian businesses.
I mean, like they kind of small in numbers, They kind of small in,
Oh,
in
no,
numbers, so they don't have like.
then it should be very easy to point out where they're doing better, right?
They're doing in like tech field, tech science, education.
Doing better how?
So
And now that's
Okay,
true.
what's the Nigerian-owned tech companies then?
Now they don't have that, but they are doing better
God
in the
damn, it's
medical field
crickets.
and tech. That's accurate.
Boy, you just be
Because they're the
saying stuff
top
and can't
5%.
stand
This
on
is not the
nothing.
whole Nigeria.
like, can I ask
Yeah,
you
I
another
will
question?
cook
I
this
don't have
damn
any
tether,
specific.
yeah.
Keep saying stuff and you can't stand on nothing. You ain't stand.
I, I have
I'm
I
here,
have a
peace.
question
I
for
see you.
yourself, just you, no, not the
Keep saying
community.
See, not because you're talking in bad faith. If you
He
say
definitely is.
something, you have to say, okay, this is how I can prove what
Right.
I just
Or shut
said.
up and move to the
Every
next
time
point.
I ask you to prove something, you keep changing the subject. Why are you doing that, sir? Now you're being deceptive.
Oh yeah. They are totally jealous of us, yo.
But look at the
For good
statistics, though.
reason.
Look at
We
the
are
numbers, though.
the
You know, did
we
you look at the
represent
numbers?
black
The
excellence.
numbers?
FBA though.
Yeah, the
What did the
statistics.
numbers
Yeah,
say? Tell me the numbers.
I can pull it up. I can pull it up on the Tumblr.
Oh shit.
No, you tell me. Just tell me the numbers. What are the numbers?
This should be easy.
And where are the numbers from? And
Right.
what's the
What
context
study?
of the numbers?
Okay, give me a second.
Cricket.
Let me
Don't,
pull up. Yeah.
don't do all.
Oh,
Let's
you said
just
you got to
keep it.
Google on the
Just
fly, my boy?
what numbers are you going to show? You don't have to
Right.
show. Just tell me. What numbers
He
are you
doesn't know
trying to
because he
tell
wasn't
me?
prepared for pushback.
Are you about to do the household income thing? That's the only numbers that y'all like to throw up. Household incomes. Is that what you're going to show me?
That also shows like how successful they are, right?
No, it doesn't. You're going to show household incomes, right?
I have another question for you. Let's move to
God
the next one.
damn, you can't stand on nothing.
Let me ask you another question
No.
for you, son.
Okay.
It's about you, though. It's about
Are
you.
you going to? Okay, thank you. This dude can't stand on nothing. Man, that's tethering right there. You say something. This is
Mm-hmm.
FBA family. This is why y'all should have been checking this bullshit a long time ago, family.
That's what my channel's
These
for.
folks have been full of shit for decades, man. They've been just saying bullshit. You understand? And for
Oh
some
boy, who
reason, we
called
just
in
sat there
saying
and let them
bullshit
say this shit.
yesterday.
Nobody ever said, hey, man, won't you prove what you saying? We sat up and let these people spew this bullshit forever without checking them on it. And when you start checking them on it, it falls apart because it's horse crap. It's damn horse crap.
Out of context is horse crap. In context is not,
You ain't
but
doing better than
you
nothing.
can't compare
What
a
he was
top
going to probably do is
5%
try to show them
elitist class to
household
the average
incomes. That
American, black
household
or white.
incomes mean it's just a whole gang of niggas living in the house, working at Uber. That's what all that means. When they show that certain African immigrants have higher household incomes, that doesn't mean that they're doing better. That just means there's more niggas in the house. That's all.
Well, okay, so let me explain that. So for asylum seekers and refugees, Tariq is right. But when it comes to the Nigerians and the Asians, like I say, Indians and Chinese, Tariq is not accurate. Those folks come over here. The reason why he's wrong is because the Indians and the Chinese and the Nigerians, they are successful without bulking up, packing the house. They come over here with wealth and education already. So like they're not coming over here being great, they're coming over here already great. They make up the top 5% of their country. I want to embed that in your head. They are the best of the best in their country. Okay. And they're comparing their best of the best to our average American. That's probably GED, you did graduate, high school graduate, associate, or some bullshit bachelor's degree. That's not fair. Compare your elite to our elite. And they won't do that. This is why we call them tethers. You dig? And white supremacists make the same argument, and it's goofy. All right, it's pure goofy. And over here, when you come to my channel, I'm gonna give y'all the raw data, and that's why when people call in, it doesn't last that long because I'm like ready, I'm prepared, and I'm well researched.
All it literally. That's it. That's literally all it means. Foundational Black Americans, we have one or two household incomes. That's it. We as foundational Black Americans, we don't have a whole bunch of people living up under us. And we didn't stop that bullshit. We don't like it. Y'all know we like our space. We put out. Our kids got to go at 18.
So now this part Tariq is saying is true, but again, this is when you're talking about Sudanese people, Canadians, and like Jamaicans. Yeah, those type people are not the top 5% of their country. Like their country, they really don't. To be respectful, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but their countries don't really have a top 5%. You dig? So when Jamaicans come over here, they're like really just bottom or Ghanaians or people from Barbados. Like there's no real top 5%. that I know of. You can correct me, somebody can correct me, but I don't think there's a top 5% in the islands or Haiti, you dig, or even the South America region. I believe the top 5% really is just really boils down to just Nigeria, uh, China, and India. But I'm open to it did correction, but I don't believe that there's a top 5% anywhere else that can compare to us or outdo us, outperform us. I don't believe that.
All right, find you something to do. We don't like a whole bunch of grown ass folks living up under us. No, we like our space. We did that.
Now that part is true. Like we're American. Like we're not no American, white or black, is not accustomed to shacking up under one roof for like financial gain. Like maybe we should do that, but we shouldn't because like yo, this is 2025. This ain't 1940. In 1940, maybe that's a good argument. But in 2025, nah, like that's not the case. You get your own space, get your own shit, get your own career, and you do you.
Shit in slavery. So we want all our space. They, on the other hand, be having 20, 40 niggas living in one apartment. So yeah, the household income is gonna look higher. You got 40 niggas up in there. Miss Kim, hop on in, Kim.
All right. So before Kim hop in, let's go right here.
In front of our house. We couldn't do that. They shut us down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You understand?
Oh yeah. They do the same. Thank you, brother. Same thing out here in LA, man. I used to go down Crenshaw. The brothers be out there with the barbecue grills, and they done got them brothers up out of there, man. And there's taco stands and fruit stands all over the place. And I'm like, how are these folks coming across the border? I know they ain't got no money for all the permits they make us.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I've been watching like videos of like our great country pulling over these Latinos that's illegal or like or legal ones who trafficking illegal ones. And it's crazy, man. Like the compartments that they be in, but our great government are aware of these different things. And man, they've been pulling over, I mean, tractor trailers, 25 illegals. So like they're smuggling illegals into the country. And let me tell you uh, the problem with that. So if you're an American citizen, I don't care if your homeland somewhere else. If you're a legal American citizen, illegal if you're legal, illegals are a threat to you as well because they lower the hourly wage, they lower the annual salary. They will like four illegals will work for your salary. You dig? So let's say if you get paid, let's say this thought a good number. Let's say you make $50 an hour. They would rather hire four illegals under that $50 an hour, and they will do what? They'll split it 25 each. I'm sorry, not about 10, 12 each. $10, $12 each, because that's a supreme upgrade from Mexico, where they've had no work or getting paid maybe $2 an hour. You dig? They're getting paid $12 an hour, $13 an hour. That's like what 5 times as much. You dig? So of course a company will hire five illegals to replace, let's say, American in the chat who demands $50 an hour from expertise and education and skills. They'd rather hire four illegals to do your work. Of course, they're gonna do it in if your work took 8 hours, they're gonna do that thing in 3 hours. You dig? So that's the problem. So they are taking American jobs. And that's the problem. And they're only looking for these people because they're not going to negotiate. They're not going to complain of work conditions or, discrimination or whatever else. They're not going to complain. Like this is an upgrade. To be in America, period, is a dream. Forget about working for an hourly wage or a salary, annual salary. The fact they're in America, that's their dream, and they're here illegally. So they'll take any job to keep their dream alive. And that's the issue that I have and most people have, not most, but some people have in America. Okay.
Come up with. I know they don't have it. So yeah, there's some nepotism going on there.
And let me say real quick, like anybody who's not working right now, the reason why you're struggling to get a job right now I don't give a damn if it's Burger King. The reason why you're struggling is because of illegals. I'm gonna tell you right now. Because like I said, you could get 4 or 5 illegals to do what you can do as an individual, one person. So of course, 4 or 5 people can get work done way faster than you, and they have no legal right. They can't complain. They can't file discrimination. None of that stuff. They can't do that. You can. So this is why a lot of companies, especially in the north, you dig. I'm telling you, man, I worked at companies where the meetings were in Spanish because there's so many. I don't know if they were illegal or legal. I can assume, but I can't tell you. But all I know is that everybody spoke Spanish, and it was me and maybe 3 other blacks who had to wait for the backup meeting to get the meeting in English. You dig? That's all I can tell you. Like we had to wait to get to get the English to get the meeting in English. All right. Always got FBA in their mouths. Southern Breeze. I'm gonna mod you up. My family. Just like all I ask is you like the video. Um, and let's not forget, Black people globally are our family. We just have an issue with Black people globally, internationally, who are tethers. Okay, so as long as you're not a tether, you are our family. We rocks with you. So no matter if it's the continent of Africa, it's the West Indies, it's Haiti, or even like Panamania or Dominican Republic. As long as you are on code and you riding with us and our initiatives and our talking points, you dig, you are an ally. Okay. If you're speaking against us, you are a tether and you are an op. That's real clear. But we are not anti Black people internationally. We are pro Black people internationally who are on code. And there's a lot of Jamaicans, there's a lot of Hispanics too. There's a lot of Hispanics who are on code. So we're not gonna condemn all of South America, Central America, or the West Indies or Africa for a few who are off code. We're going to condemn those by name. We're not going to condemn a whole country or region for a handful of tethers. So let's just keep that in mind.
What's your Afro-Caribbean?
So Israelite 1865, I'm gonna give you a wrench. All I ask, my family, all I ask is like the video. You dig? I'm gonna give American Dream another wrench because he always loses a wrench, but I'm gonna give you a wrench. You know what I mean? I don't mind if you disagree. Just, do it in class. That's all. Just don't be sloppy. Recognized game. That was a whole sample quote, FBA News. To be okay. So you the person who called in yesterday who won't let me get a word in. But I'm not mad at you at recognized game. But I have 2 other folks you can talk to. I got Focus and I got a ex-architect. I also want American Dream to talk to them. And it doesn't mean you're going to be debating. You're hardcore. It just means you're just having a discussion. If it leads to debate, fine. But it don't have to head to a debate. You dig? So let's go.
Africa Rise, nigga.
There you go. Africa Rise.
25.
Yeah.
Okay, so Snatch says my favorite part about delineating is the plea being copped and the truth being dropped bar. I like that.
You're right.
Yes.
Okay, so my question is, what is the overall ideology of FBA? Like, what is the meaning of it?
Why? What? Yeah, you're Nigerian, right?
No, I'm from Ghana.
Ghana.
And like I said, I'm going to reiterate for you in the chat who are non-FBA. Just because you're non-FBA does not mean you are op. So you don't got to take the op position. You can still rock with us because we don't speak against your country. We don't speak against your initiatives, your narratives, and your, let's say, reparation claims. Those in South Africa, I believe they deserve reparations. I believe CARICOM should be successful in their reparations. I believe Haitians should get reparations from the French and whoever else was involved in undermining and sabotaging them. You see how we do? We hope you guys be successful. I hope Ibrahim Traore is successful in all his endeavors. You dig? See, we don't hate on y'all. We're not minding your business. So we like, yo, wish the same for us. That's all. But when you don't, we gotta call you out. And when you attack us, we gotta attack your homeland. You dig? In respect to those who don't represent your views, we still gotta attack. And when we attack with truth. I'm not gonna lie like you. We're going to speak the truth about your homeland. It might hurt a little bit, but it's the truth. It's not a lie. That's the bottom line.
What's the ideology of Ghana?
It's not really an ideology. It's a place that we live and a place that we come from.
Right, same
Sounds the
foundational Black
watcher,
American.
Southern
Okay,
breeze.
but why do you have to constantly call
Recognize, I
people
see you,
tethers?
man.
I think that's
Recognize, it's not about not being ready. It's just, are you open to a dialogue with somebody else other than myself? Because maybe we just don't, maybe we just clash. Maybe me and the American Dream, maybe me and Kwame just clash. Our personalities, maybe we're the same, maybe close to the same time, whatever. We just clash. So I'm open to like let you talk to somebody else. You dig? That's fair to have you speak to somebody else where you might not clash as much. So I got DJ Focus and I got X Architect. And maybe the watcher if he wants to pull up and talk to you guys, but you guys gotta, make yourself available.
it's a good thing to delineate
Right.
in a sense, but I do think it's dangerous for people on the internet to think that coming outside calling people tethers, it might not
Well,
be conducive
have
with the health.
Sounds
calling you a
Bantu.
tether don't change the lineage, though. That how does that change the lineage?
Because I just think that that people getting used to using that word might come outside, and it might be a different story if they say that to somebody that's not FBA, if they say that in their face. It might be cool on the internet. And I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm
brother,
talking about your audience.
brother, let me say this, and I'm not a spokesperson for foundation. It's 43 million foundational Black Americans. So
Right.
ain't no FBA scared of you. None of you. Oh, I
I
doubt
don't want anybody to be scared
it.
of me. I'm
Nobody's
not threatening. I'm
they,
not saying.
it,
I just think it's inflammatory.
bruh, they would slap the flies off you. You're not scaring nobody. You're not going to be the African tough guy. You're not scaring nobody. No FBAs are afraid to say anything to you. Okay, let's be clear on that. All right. Now, you might throw your arms up and that must rise up on niggas, and you might use your must as pepper spray. But other than that, nobody's afraid of anything you're going to do. So let's just get that clear. Now, why do you have a problem with our lineage? Why do you have a problem with our lineage? Because the only people who are called tethers are folks who have a problem with our lineage.
I have absolutely no problem with the lineage. I think that y'all are the watered down versions of us. So
Oh,
how could I feel that?
Oh
Why
shit.
would I have a problem with your lineage?
oh, watered down. Well, watered mean bathing regularly. So you mean that? We bathe regularly? What have you
I just
done?
feel like I
Oh,
feel like we are
oh,
the ancestors. We are closer to the ancestors in a
how,
sense
Oh shit.
how?
because you guys come from our continent, and then you fled to
Uh-oh.
America, or you were brought to America, excuse me,
How we flee to
and
America?
we're the same versions of you, but you just have more mixed blood with Europeans and different type of,
Then,
you know,
then
different blood.
name your globally recognized icons from Ghana.
There doesn't need to be. We don't have the same we don't have the same type of market. We don't have the same type of global market as the United States of America. You guys have Hollywood. You guys have access to more marketing dollars and funds and things of that nature. So
No,
a person
no,
from Ghana can have the same type of talent as a person from the FBA culture.
FSK, I'm gonna
no,
mod you
no,
up.
no,
Peace,
no,
my
But
family.
because of the fact that they're not put
no,
on the same type of global scale,
no, no. Hold on, let me get my brother Dan in here. We're gonna take our time with.
Hey, recognize game. You're saying you talked over me. I'm saying you talked over me. You're saying I talked over you. I'm saying you talked to me. Okay, so maybe we can talk again, and I could like give us both time limits. How about that, recognized game? How about the next time we talk, I give you 3 minutes of just airtime, right? And once you're done, you got to stop, and then I go 3 minutes uninterrupted, back and forth. But I would rather you have that conversation with another brother that kind of think like me. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, let's eliminate me from that. I'm gonna have you talk to DJ Focus. You don't know him, he don't know you, or you can talk to ex architect. He don't know you, you don't know him, and it could be a you know being a start fresh moment But also, I'm gonna give you 3 minutes of same thing. I can give you American Dreamer Kwame 3 minutes of uninterrupted time. Say whatever you want. I give DJ Focus or X Architect 3 minutes of uninterrupted time. You're back and forth, until you guys feel like you said enough. That's all. So I'm eliminating myself from the equation. See, it's not about cloutation or clout chasing or ego. I'm gone. Yeah, I'm letting you talk to somebody else.
With you tonight. Africa rise, and the only thing rising is that must. Brother Dan, who's in the new
Same day.
movie HC6, by the way. Dan is cooking. Brother Dan, this brother said, Dan, unmute your microphone if you can, sir.
Hey, I recognize game. Yeah, like what if I feel like I'm being talked over, I am going to eventually melt down. Damn, yeah, you poking the bear. You poke a bear, eventually he gonna swipe at you. He gonna maul you. So you can't blame me for like if a woman is poking her man over and over, eventually he's gonna flip and say some things or do some things that's unbecoming. But you're poking the bear. You dig? Just let that be known. You're poking the bear.
Yeah, I hear you. I heard him.
Oh, yeah, he's
FBA
a
Detroit,
watered
same day.
down version of them.
That was crazy. I got a question for you. You say you're from Ghana, right?
Correct.
Are you from Nigeria?
How can I be from Nigeria if I'm from Ghana?
Right. Now that was funny. I caught that. Yeah. So dude who called in, you might want to hang up. You messed up big time. You did.
Interesting point. I'm glad you said that. What's the difference between you and a Nigerian?
What's the difference between you and a Nigerian? You look
Okay.
awfully.
No,
See. Now he asked him a legitimate question. Because I would ask that question. What's the difference between a Jamaican and Trinidadian? You dig? Like, and you can't answer that because you're gonna cook yourself. So you have to deflect and ask what he just asked.
I'm
Nigerian in your
asking you. No, I'm
profile
asking you.
picture
What's no, no, no. I'm
with your
saying
bright
I'm
ass
not.
yellow shirt. You look like a
Thank you, thank
Nigerian.
you. All right. Let's play this game, right? The point I'm making is there is a fundamental difference between you and a Nigerian,
Right.
and neither one of you Negroes left the continent, and we've been off the continent for 400 years. By your word, we're not the same, correct?
Right. So you see where he's going. He's saying, yo, you guys are on the same, you guys are both on the continent of Africa. He's Nigerian and you're from Ghana, you're Ghanaian, and you don't call yourself Nigerian. He does not call himself Ghanaian. So why the hell will we be removed from the continent 400 years later, call ourselves Nigerian or Ghanaian? So that was a fair point. It made absolute sense. It went over his head because he's not genuine. He's disingenuous. So he didn't catch it. Listen.
You
Hello?
said it. Are you guys the same? Are we the same? Am I the same as a person from Nigeria?
No, I'm asking you what's the difference between you and a Nigerian? And you said that you guys are different, correct?
There's slight differences. It might be the same difference between a person from the Bronx and from Brooklyn.
Okay, gotcha. But you would agree that
Totally
there's a
different.
difference there, correct?
Slight differences, just
No,
culturally.
I agree. You look at the Bronx and Brooklyn, you said there's a difference between those guys. Cool. That's 100% true.
Why is your
But
shirt so bright?
I would argue because it's a
Right.
color called yellow.
It
FSK.
looks like you
Yeah,
got pissed
do they
on. It
not
looks
have
like you
colors
had
in
a
your
white tee
homeland?
and you got pissed on.
Oh, okay.
It's terrible. Take it off. It doesn't contrast your face properly.
So this is my thing with tethers, like and coons. Like you can't, because it's not just tethers. We got FBAs who are coons. I had a dude on here, CLR. He was a coon. He's FBA. So we don't, make it personal. Like we call you out for what you are, and we call out white supremacists. And we had a Hispanic Ditso call in, and we called him out. He's a tether. You dig? So we don't pick on like a certain nationality or ethnicity. Now we call you out by your actions and your hatred for us, your disdain for us.
You should wear
Thank
more
you.
earth tones.
Thank you for the fashion advice, Mr. Frown Emoji. But the point
Mr.
is,
Know It All,
y'all
good
love to
question.
tell us, right,
I'm
that
gonna give you a wrench.
we're the same. But then when you ask you about your neighbor in the same
Are you the
continent,
guy that
you
was
are
called
quick to
Kanye?
say
Why'd you
that you
change your
guys
name from
are
Kanye? I've
different.
been listening for
And
quite
I
some
think that's
time.
crazy though. But make no mistake, family, right? This is what they do. When they don't have any argument, they try out this terrible ass idea of trolling. But long story short, we are different from you guys, right?
Why
We are
did you
not the
call?
same. And that's fine. That's
Why
cool.
did
You
you
should
used to
accept
call
it, right?
yourself
Because
Kanye?
the
Why'd you
minute you
change your
guys do
name?
anything that you consider noteworthy, the first thing you do is highlight whatever country you came from. And we're just saying we simply agree with y'all from now on.
Why are
So
you
appreciate
ashamed
that,
of your
Flex. Man,
FBA
y'all
brother
shout out
Kanye?
to Hidden Color 6 on the way. I don't know what's wrong with this
Shout out to
frowny
Hidden
emoji.
Color 6.
Get
It's
you
a
a
beautiful thing. But
smile
why
emoji
why
next
why
time,
did
Hidden
you
Color.
change your name from
Hey,
Kanye?
okay,
Why
okay.
did you change your
Hey,
name from
Africa,
Kanye?
stop trolling, because now you're looking weak. Now you gonna understand on what you said. You got to stand and stop this weak trolling because you're trying to wiggle your way out. We're gonna give you this
No,
work. Let's don't do that.
I'm not trying to wiggle my way out.
Don't wiggle your way out with that lame trolling. I want to know how are we a watered down version of you and you're sitting over well, you're over here now. You're not even over there. Your ass is over here. So you left to come over here with us.
Facts.
So how are we watered down and your ass is over here stinking up the United States?
My
Hmm?
skin is more melanated. My hair is more coiled. My bones are stronger. The food that we eat, my cultural food is less GMO. We have a closer connection to our roots, and you guys, you know how it is.
What
You know the
roots?
vibes.
What roots? What connection you have to your roots? No, you don't. No, you don't have a connection to your roots. Most of you don't
Listen,
have birth certificates. What roots do you have a connection to?
I love FBA culture, but
Oh,
everything that you
what
guys
roots
do is
do
a
you have?
watered down version of what you learned from
No,
us.
no,
When you
no,
tap in,
no. What roots do you know? They see a family. The Tethers like to play this game. You better call them out on that. What roots do you have a connection to? Most of y'all don't even know your great grandparents. You don't even know what day you were born. You don't have birth certificates. I bet your birthday is January 1st. And your
no,
ass is over here. What roots do you have a connection to, sir?
July 7th, 1987.
Oh, you're July 1st, 1950, and you're running around here telling people you're 15 years old. Y'all be old as hell telling people you're young and you're over here. What was your homeland called before the British colonized you? What was it called?
I don't know.
There you go. So you don't have no connections to no damn roots, sir.
Okay, let me ask you a
Just
question.
you an abused refugee. You have no connections to nothing. Let me get my brother Macau in here. I better get these tethers straight with this bullshit.
Quick
Brother
question.
Macau,
Why do everybody
why,
go to the
why,
African continent to get the
brother Macau,
best of everything? The
hold
best
on,
minerals, the best diamonds, the best gold.
that you have no access to. I don't want to hear about those diamonds and minerals that the Asians are over there digging up. Are
But
you
but
bragging?
but
You
if
bragging
you think
about,
about it, if
you bragging
Africa has the best,
No, you bragging about something you ain't got access to that's right under your feet that the whites, Asians, and Arabs got access to and you don't. Don't tell me about no diamonds and gold and minerals under the ground and you wiping your ass with shea butter leaves. I don't want to hear that. You ain't got no access to them on your own homeland. Brother McCalla, you in here, sir.
and our women have fatter asses.
Dude,
I'm thinking so. Great Minister of Code, how art
Oh
thou?
God, this guy.
do my best with
Mm-hmm.
Brother McCalla.
It is I. How
Brother McCalla, you there? Hopefully there's not a double mute there. Brother McCall, you
That
there?
was the ancestors. The ancestors cut his mic off.
No, that was the antenna forehead of yours. Your forehead is like an antenna, and it blocked the 5G signals.
I'm
Okay.
not from East Africa. I'm from
Yep.
West Africa. Get your
brother
geography right.
Tariq, I'm here.
I hear you. Yes, sir.
May I speak to this man,
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
please?
Go ahead.
Mr. African is whatever your name is. How are you, sir?
Peace, peace. Everything is blessed.
Good. Excellent. How's your family doing? Everybody good?
Blessed.
Great, great. Why can't you be more like the Ethiopians, sir?
I love the
Why can't
Ethiopians.
you? Yeah, I think the Ethiopians are better than you. I think they have better culture. I
Bro, you
think they're
from
more well
where
mannered.
where are you from?
I think they're I'm Black American, sir. I think they have better manners,
Okay,
better food.
okay,
They're more attractive.
okay,
They have a longer culture.
okay.
They are unquestionably the descendants of those who we call ancient Egyptians. I think they're better than you, and they're different from you. Would you agree?
I think I wouldn't agree, but I have no issue with Ethiopians. I don't know why you're making this an
Okay,
Ethiopian thing.
because I think they're superior
That's fine.
to you and your
You
people.
could believe that. That's fine. But if you're
I
a Black
okay, I know
American, the
that
chances are you're
because
more of
I
a
know they're
descendant of our
superior.
people. If you're a Black
Because I
American,
know
more
no
than
no no
likely
no.
you're closer
Because I
to my
know they
people than
are
you are
more
to
superior.
Ethiopians. Are you
They
Ethiopian?
are more superior than
That's fine.
Ghana.
That's
Why is
fine.
that?
Are you
Why is
Ethiopian?
that?
Are you Ethiopian?
Why is that?
Are you
Why is that, sir?
Ethiopian? Because if you're not
Why
Ethiopian,
why are the Ethiopians different
why are
than
you
people
glazing
from
the
Ghana?
Ethiopians if you're not
I ask
Ethiopian?
you a question. Why are the people from Ethiopia different than the people from Ghana?
Because they're from a
And
different,
better.
I don't know if they're better, they're from a different part of the continent.
They are better. I
Okay, that's
know
fine.
they're
I
better.
love the
Brother
Ethiopians. You're not
Tariq,
going to
Yeah.
get me to say anything
thank you.
negative
Thank
about
you, dear brother, for the
Ethiopians.
opportunity to speak to this man.
Thank you so.
I'll
Thank you so much.
I don't know what his argument was. What did he want me to say something negative about Ethiopians?
I mean, that was a conversation between. You should have asked him that. That was a conversation between you two. I'm just trying to really learn how we'll watered down version of you. You haven't proven that. You haven't shown anything that is equal to our cultural icon status. And you said it was what?
The
Holly?
only reason why Black Americans have cultural icon status over us in West Africa is because of the global stage that that Americans are put on. If we had the same opportunities, we would excel in the same ways, just like the Kembe Mutombo and guys like that.
No,
We have several West African athletes, entertainers, and politicians, and you know everything.
sir.
We just
People.
don't have the same marketing. We
No,
don't have the same cameras on us.
no. You're trying to give props to white people. You're like, well, the white.
No, not
No,
at all.
no. By saying Hollywood and all that, what you're trying to say is, well, white people elevated you. That's what you're trying to say, right? That's what Hollywood is. Hollywood is run by white people. So you're trying to say that we have icon status because the white people elevated us. That's what you're trying to say, right?
No, I'm not trying to say that. I'm saying that you have bigger cameras on you. You have more of a global stage. You have more of a global platform than
Why
we do
why are the cameras on us?
because of the wealth in America. And America's one of their main resources is entertainment.
Uh,
It's not because they're better entertainers or better, you know,
sir, there
athletes.
no, but no. There are cameras on you. There always been cameras on you.
What is this African hate? I don't understand it. This was never
Eight, you're the one said we're a watered down version of you, and you're talking about this because the cameras are on us. There were cameras on you, sir. We remember those cameras from the Feed the Children commercials back in the day. The Sally Struthers commercial, there were cameras on you too. It ain't about the cameras. We saw cameras on you every night.
Okay, so when
Oh,
did this
no, come on, no. Y'all had cameras on you all the time. So yeah, there were just certain things that were shown on camera when we were on camera. And we got things popping with word of mouth. We got things popping. It wasn't Hollywood elevating us. Malcolm X became an icon globally. That
what
wasn't
do you think Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and
hold
all of these guys?
hold talking. Hollywood didn't elevate no Malcolm X. They tried to demonize Malcolm X. You talking about Hollywood? You're talking about media who demonized us. Malcolm X was demonized by Hollywood and the media. Dr. King, they started to demonize him. Paul Robeson, they would demonize him, calling him a communist. But yet, we still resonated globally with people, sir. We still became icons in spite of the Hollywood system demonizing us. Muhammad Ali was demonized.
All of these guys that you're mentioning, Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, none of these guys would approve of this African hate. I just don't see them ever approving of it.
Projection. The only person who hates Africa is you. You're the one
I
who
hate Africa.
you fled,
I'm, I love Africa.
no,
I'm here the
sir.
same way Earthlings
Loved
go
it.
to
If
Mars.
you loved it, you wouldn't have fled from it. You're the only person who hates Africa. Nobody hates Africa more than a fleeting tether. We're indifferent. We're indifferent to it, sir.
And why do you constantly use?
Well, say that again, sir. Your big forehead messed up the reception, sir. Go ahead. And are you
Okay, you keep muting me.
right?
But why would I have a big forehead? Okay, you're confusing your geography now.
I'm
I'm
not.
from West Africa. I'm not from East Africa.
You know,
And shout out to the
I
East
didn't
African people. They're beautiful people. But my question is,
seen them
do
water.
you?
I didn't seen them waterheads over there in your neck of the woods too. So you're not gonna put all that over there in East Africa. I didn't seen some of them big old cantaloupe peppercorn ass heads over from your village too. That's what I'm saying. So
You say peppercorn heads. What do you mean? You talking about their heads extra?
right. So you,
When did you start hating yourself, black man? When did you start hating your African features?
sir, I'm a foundational Black American, sir. I don't hate anything about my.
We have the same peppercorn head, don't we?
I do not have peppercorn hair. I have a fade. My shit is fly. I have foundational Black American fade, sir. I do not have dry peppercorn edges with a receding hairline at the age of 15. That's you, sir. Now, what are you asking me about tether? Because tether,
Yeah. Urban commute. Brother, you would like to express your opinions? Just ask for the phone number.
doesn't mean immigrant. Tether means a person. person who tries to undermine something derogatory or negative to foundational Black Americans. And if you do that, we are going to label you what you are, and we're not going to let you undermine us, right?
Why do you have Terminator glasses on in your profile
Okay,
picture?
okay, you're just saying stuff, sir.
No, I want to know why.
This,
When did this happen?
this is your,
Black Americans and Africans always had a camaraderie. I don't know why there's this
if
divide.
you don't have a camaraderie with Africans over there, y'all bop each other upside the damn head. There was just 100 folks shot over there in Nigeria today, like 100 people on some Christian Muslim beef. What are you talking about? Y'all
When did you start hating
don't
yourself,
have a
Black?
camaraderie over there now. You don't have a camaraderie there now. How would you have a camaraderie with us?
When
Huh?
did you start? When did you start hating
When
yourself, Black man?
camaraderie?
When did y'all start
When
hating yourselves?
camaraderie, sir? When was this camaraderie? See, y'all like to get up here tether lying. When was this camaraderie?
This camaraderie was when Michael Jackson and all of them sang "We Are the World." This camaraderie was Bob Marley saying "Africa Unite."
Right. One-sided. Us helping you. Yeah. Us carrying the load for you. Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie and Quincy Jones made We Are the World, the top entertainers in the world at the time, and they donated their services and their talent to help feed Africa. And y'all never even helped us get dual citizenship nowhere without a fast track. Y'all, there has never been a reciprocal energy coming from you guys. Why is that?
When did this hatred start? There used to be black pride. There used to be a love for black people used to love going to Africa and representing the same things that we represented. There was a cultural,
Projecting.
pride there.
You're pro-
When did this happen?
you're projecting,
I
sir.
love Africa. We
No,
we
you
love America. We
don't.
love America where we are. We love Tupac. We love
Hate for your own nation onto us. We're indifferent. We don't have the energy to hate Africa. We don't. But we're not going to let tethers come over here and do what you do, bring your self-hate and your tribalism, and then undermine us. We're not going to accept your garbage. We're not going to accept your filth no more. Y'all come over here and you delineate from us every chance you get while you exploit us. We're not doing that no more, sir. Are you upset now that you have to hold your own nuts? Huh?
you
Well,
had me muted.
right.
Um,
Yeah, let me hold on. Let me get seat.
I've been holding my own nuts.
Yeah, you've been holding your own.
We've been holding our own
Killer,
nuts. Pause.
killer hop.
Well, if you was holding your own nuts, why are you calling in? It's like I don't understand that. Like I don't call into tether podcasts that that's I don't. Like the best I would do is if they're on my list, my radar, I'll comment and say, hey man, you want to come for a discussion? I can see you the phone number or the link. Let's have a discussion. Because I see you have an issue with FBAs, you have an issue with ADOS. That's it. But I'm not in their chat after that, like trolling or calling in. It did. I mean, it's like why people. Why this is rhetorical. Why are people so worried about what we're doing? We're delineating. That doesn't mean you can't rock with us. That just means your tether class can't rock with us. That's it. You can still rock with us if you solid. There's Latinos who are solid. There are Africans who are solid. There are West Indians who are solid. Haitians who are solid. We're not rocking with the ones who are not. That's not everybody.
On in.
How you doing, Tariq? Let me. I need a word with this dude. You come from a continent of about 1.5 billion, correct? And you really saying that we got? Oh, y'all
Golden
got the
Peace.
platform. Y'all ain't made your own platform.
It was never a
You have to make
priority.
your own platform.
It was never.
What's Africa's excuse?
It was never a priority, brother. You sound terrible speaking about
What's
Africa
your
in that
excuse
way.
though? What's your excuse?
When did this happen? Why would you get on here and say what is Africa's when did this happen? This is what I'm talking about. This was never.
Because you're coming to the people that you sold the most down.
And what's interesting is that these guys represent a region or a country in Africa, but they act like they represent the whole. country. Like, dude, I'm sorry, they act like they represent the continent. Like they're speaking about Africa, but they're really just representing their own country. So you gotta check that. Like, dude, what are you representing? You're not representing Africa. Cause y'all not on code. Y'all not on code. So you're not representing Africa. You're representing your region or your country and those you ally with. That's it. It's
downtrodden people in the
54
world that
countries.
you've sold,
I didn't say.
and you're trying to tell us like some bullshit that
All
you're
right,
projecting
Snaps,
your
I see you.
bullshit onto us, man.
Entertainment,
We don't hate Africa.
entertainment was
You
never a
hate
top
yourself.
priority. I don't hate
We
myself.
made a way out of no way.
I'm
Because let
proud
me
of
tell
y'all.
you something about foundational black Americans.
Y'all are like my little
The reason
nephews.
why, let's shut up for a second.
Y'all my son doulas.
Shut the fuck up for a minute.
Oh, he getting mad. Look at
The
him.
reason
Look at him
why
cursing.
foundational black Americans like Malcolm
And by the way, like this tether that's disrespectful, he's most likely in New York or New Jersey, and he has FBA friends, and he'll never express his views that he's expressing on Tariq Elite Radio or Tariq Radio. He would never express those views with his FBA friends, and that's the sad part. So like this side of him, like he's phony as hell. He's phony. Most likely he's from New York or New Jersey. And his expressions, the way he feels, he does not express that with his FBA ADOS friends at all. Trust me. I'm from New Jersey. I never heard a tether talk like this before.
This
X
kid's
was
listening
able to have a
constantly.
voice is because black Americans came together and we made our own newspaper. We made our own media called the Muhammad Speaks.
Do you
We
think
made our own media. We made it pop off for
do you
ourselves.
think the
Africa ain't
NOI would
doing nothing
approve of
like
that?
that.
Do you think the NOI and all of these guys are just speaking about what the newspapers would approve of African, hate?
Well, first of all, it's not African hate, it's African delineation. And yes, the Nation of Islam is 100%. The Nation of Islam delineated in 1930. You dig? I'm an ex-FOY chat. If you don't know, holla at me. I have an X. I was selling final calls, all that. The Nation of Islam, they don't speak positively about Africa at all. They don't necessarily speak negative either, but they focus on the West Indies, they focus on South America, Central America, and they focus on America. The Nation of Islam does not focus on Africa at all. You okay? Anybody who disagrees with me, I can provide the phone number or the link. I will cook you. You don't know the Nation of Islam teachings better than me. You do not know that. But you can challenge me right now. They don't speak about Africa at all. So yes, the Nation of Islam will be like they agree with us basically. They don't speak about Africa at all. Elijah Muhammad said, "We're not Africa. We're not African." Okay, make no mistake.
Just spewing?
Yes.
I didn't say anything hateful. What did we say hateful about Africa?
Come on, man. You do it every night.
You give one piece of advice, you want to come
You
outside?
guys
Sir,
you make fun of our features. You
it's
make
not
fun
it's
of our
not a lie
you make fun of
that you
our black
musty. It's
features. You
not a
make fun
lie
of our
that your beaches
melanated.
look like sewage systems. It's not a lie. Nothing that we're saying that's lie. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Did you
It's
make
a
the
lot of
American
ugly, and
sewage
none of it's a
systems?
lie.
Disrespectful and go.
Did you make the American sewage systems?
Actually, we had a lot to do with that. Actually,
Okay, okay, family. I gotta pause it. So when he said that we do the sewage system, of course we had labor in that. But what you cannot do, family, this is 101. Okay, this is from Unbiased Ron. This is 101. Don't let them separate Americans. Okay, you got Latino Americans, you got foundational Black Americans, and you got white Americans. Don't let them separate our accomplishments that made this country great. So when they say, "Did you do this?" Yes, we did it because we're American. So a Latino could have done it, or a white person could have done it. It still was done by an American, and we are American. We're foundational Black Americans. So that means we're taking credit for anything that American has done in this country. So we're not going to let a tether or white supremacists tell us or separate us from American achievements. No, if a Latino did something and they are a citizen, If Irish or Italian or a white person did something, yes, we did it because in Nigeria, you got the Ogoni people who do not represent the Nigerians who are in tech. Okay, they don't represent them. But guess what? When something is done in Nigeria, the Ogoni people will say, "We did it." The Nigerians, right? Like Americans, and you deal with Rwanda. You got the Tutsis and the Hutus and you got other folks over there. But when something's done in Rwanda or the related region, they all get the credit for it. So, and even with the Sudanese and Ghanaians, no, we're not going to do that. They are very tribal. They're separate in all those countries. But when something gets done, they all claim it as a Nigerian thing, a Jamaican thing, a Ghanaian thing. You dig? Sudanese thing. So, same thing here. When something is accomplished in America, it's an American thing. And we're American and we're laying claim to that. So no, you ain't gonna separate American achievements. We're American, like whoever else is American. If it's achieved over here, we're taking credit for it as well. So you can try again.
Especially here in Los Angeles where I live. And my grandfather actually built most of the sewer system here.
Their
If you
grandfather,
want to get
their
technical and real, yeah, we
grandfather
did.
built
We
the
built
sewage
all of this
systems.
shit.
Okay.
Yes, contracting for the city of Los
So why
Angeles.
don't you?
Damn
So
right.
why don't you
Yes.
guys come and help
In the
Africa? Why don't you
1940s.
guys?
Yes.
Why don't you guys come and help the people in Africa build sewage
We
systems
did it enough. What the we fed
instead of
Africa.
making
Michael Jackson gave you guys millions. My
jokes?
family, we've donated 50 cents a week to Africans growing up.
What is
We did
50?
everything I can. We've sent Africans, my family alone, my parents sent 4 African children to college.
For 50 cents a week, you sent African children to
For
college.
more than that. But I'm just saying there was shit like that. Yeah, our money compared to yours back then. Come
Okay,
on
well
now.
keep the love.
Right. So our money compared to yours, 50 cents a week was like $1 million to y'all. You dig? Like again, these are just bad faith arguments from a tether.
And keep the love for Africa.
We've always had it. You don't have the
Don't.
love. You have hatred
There's
and
no
content.
hatred.
You're getting on here trying to
American
say
dream. You
that
about to get your rents
foundational
taken
black
again.
Americans hate you. Nothing came.
Is
You
that
didn't have no
hatred?
hatred come from us
If I'm
this whole
saying,
session.
if I
You're projecting your.
American dream. Kwame's statement was stupid. And for you to sit there and act like there was something smart about that, how about American Dream? How about you explain in the chat how Kwame's statement made absolute sense? Do it in the chat, and and do it in the chat, and I might bring you on. So explain in the chat how he made sense, and I might bring you on to explain how it made sense. Go ahead, bro. Explain in the chat how it made sense, and I will bring you on to defend how it made sense.
Bullshit, man.
if I'm
Peace.
Go
saying,
somewhere and
Stack,
eat on some
Ohio.
fufu and some
see what I'm
agusi, whatever
saying?
I
you
see
got,
you.
man. And put some shea butter
See
on.
what I'm saying?
Because you musty.
See what I'm saying?
All right,
Exactly.
Tariq.
Exactly. That was very xenophobic. I'm musty and I need to put shea butter on. See what I'm saying? When did that happen? The NOI, the Malcolm, these guys would never approve of this type of rhetoric.
Okay, so this is a fool. He doesn't know the Nation of Islam. Nation of Islam will 100% approve of what he calls our talking points rhetoric. The Nation of Islam will 100%. Hey, yo, American, Kwame, anybody in the chat. Well, Kwame can't really comment. I've timed him out for 30 minutes. But Kwame, if you can text me, which one of y'all believe the Nation of Islam will not side with us on our talking points? Just tell me in the chat and I'll bring you on. I'm going to cook you. You're going to learn this Islam doctrine. Okay. So it ain't what you think it is. They were not pro Africa at all. They were pro West Indies. Yes. They were pro South America, Central America. Yes. But they were not pro Africa. So we ain't going to cap.
You think Malcolm X would get on here and tell me to put on some shea butter?
Yeah, he probably would.
Okay.
He ain't lying.
No, I don't doubt that, sir. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, sir. You got a lot of nerve as a Ghanaian, as you claim,
He ain't
as a
lying.
Ghanaian, to wag your finger to foundational Black Americans talking about why we hate you, and we haven't said anything hateful.
That's not hateful. Telling
You
me
got
to go eat fufu and all of these things. That's
you
not
got
hateful.
to tell us that we should be helping you, and how come we don't do? We've done so much for Africa, all of the freedom movements, the revolutionary movements, the independent movements. We've been there helping to kick it off. We've
We
been
gave
there.
you guys, we planted the seeds for your culture.
What seeds were those?
Hip hop,
Hip
rhythmic dancing,
hip who?
hip hop.
What did we get from you as far as
Where do
hip
you
hop?
think you learn how to play drums?
Yeah, hip hop is more than just drums.
What else is
Mm.
it? Breakdancing and
That's-
graffiti? Where do
Oh,
you
so
think you guys learn how to dance?
okay. Well, so how
Oh
come y'all
shit.
don't do it like us then?
Because it was a culture that you guys sparked, but we planted the seeds of.
Let me read some chat. So Snatch says, Kwame, tell us what was happening after 1835. Well, he can't tell you shit because he's timed out for 30 minutes and he don't know nothing about Africa. All right, so I'm gonna save you some time. The average tether in the chat that's from Jamaica don't know shit about Africa. Mr. Know-it-all says, Muck Muck, he can't break that down. My man thought the North didn't benefit from slavery. I already cooked him on that. Yeah, these guys, hey, chat. The guys in the chat who are the tethers in the chat who are trolling, they already called in every last one of them, and I got clips. I didn't even. I made like one clip. I didn't even like try to really embarrass them like that. Even when I cooked Chaotic Truth, I didn't make them. I got no really small clips, no shorts on him. I could have done that. I didn't do that. I didn't do it because it's not like my stilo. But I cooked even Pan Nigerian, cooked them. I didn't make no shorts. I can. I can. I actually can. But I'm not, I didn't do that. Um, so none of these guys, no, Kwame ain't gonna break nothing down. He's suspended for he's timed out for 30 minutes. All right. So Mr. Know-it-all says these goddamn flies, yo. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Come on, land. Please land. Land. Got him, dummy. Okay, so Mr. Know-it-all says, as a U.S. military general once said, as a U.S. military general once said, Black American soldiers in the army are the best fighting force on earth. We literally created the light bulb, cell phone, GPS, and air conditioning. FBA flag, no doubt. Um, Pan Nigerian. You just talking. You don't know the Nation Islam. Yeah, time him out because he doesn't know the Nation Islam doctrine, and I challenge American, Pan Nigerian, and these guys on the Nation Islam doctrine. I will provide the phone number or the actual Zoom link on the Nation Islam doctrine alone. All you guys say is, "Hey, you want the challenge? I will send the link, and I'm going to cook you." I know none of y'all know the Nation Islam doctrine. You guys just talking. So Kemet 3.0 says, do he know we're only group we're the only group have our own school? Hey, Kemet, let me give you a wrench, my boy. All I ask for you, even American Dream. I've been to his channel. He got some stuff that I agree with, some stuff I don't. But everybody liked the video. You guys know I invite you on as long as you respectful, don't talk over me. I am the host. If I called in on an American's channel, okay, he was live and he invited me on for whatever reason. If he says stop talking, I'm gonna stop talking. And if I don't like the platform or the structure, I'll just hang up. But what I'm not gonna do is disrespect him on his own platform like they have done to me. That's why you guys are tethers. Okay. American, if I'm on your platform and you say stop talking, I'm gonna stop talking. If I don't like the structure, I would just hang or the format, I would just hang up. But I'm not going to disrespect you on your channel. That's what you guys don't get. I'm not equal to you. That's your shit. That's your home. You determine the rules and everything, and I either abide by or I don't. But I'm a rule abide by citizen, so I'm going to definitely adhere to your rules. You dig? Real simple. But you guys come over here and think we're equal. Like, nah, I'm the host. I'm going to talk more. I'm going to have the questions, and I'm going to be fair as possible. But we're not equal. You got to understand that you're calling into my show. If I call into your show, if I get in your car, if I'm at your house, I'm not equal with you. You lay out the rules, the format, the structure, and I either obey or I leave. I don't know how that's so hard to comprehend. But Kim at 3.0 says, does he know we're only group to have our own schools, HBCUs? Nope. He is talking about the bottom fee. Yeah, he don't know. He don't know.
of it.
Okay, if you planted the seeds, then you would have a better version. Where's the Ghanaian Nas?
I mean, I love hip hop. It's just
Okay, I don't. So American Dream, he's an American citizen. He said he is, but he's Jamaican roots, and he disagrees with our talking points. But I don't want to censor him. You dig? I want him to, as long as he's respectful. I don't mind American expressing his disagreement or disapproval in our stance, right? All we can do is just address him and dialogue with him and even debate him. But I don't want to censor people in the chat. I don't want people to go along to get along. I want you guys to express how you truly feel so we can have a dialogue. And sometimes you can call in or click the link, but I do not want to censor you. So I give people like American Dream a wrench because I want him to be able to express himself without being timed out or blocked. And I want to click his links on his sources. You did? Because I like a real challenge. I'm not cherry picking and I'm not trying to disarm people. I want you to bring if you think I'm wrong or we're wrong, I want to hear your best, what you got. You dig? Your best opposition. So that's why I give them a wrench. But as long as they're respectful to a degree, they could disagree, but as long as they're respectful, I don't mind them expressing themselves. I don't want to censor nobody, even white supremacists. I want or coons like Larry Elder. I want you guys to say your bullshit and give us opportunity to address it. All right. So let's go. What's this?
Hi, Tariq.
How you doing,
Okay.
Kim?
Okay, so we're done with that one. All right, so look at this fool right here. Listen to this.
Out of YouTube, let's cover the basics of the ideology. FBAs, stick with me. I know y'all know most of this, but I can guarantee you that there's some of it you
Hold on. Let me pause that real fast. So peace to my I never spoken on a channel before. I will take that offer soon. Thank you. All right, let me put the link, the phone number in the chat. My FBA be like, oh, wait, 100 ice. Let me give you a wrench, my boy. You dig? If you're FBA ADOS, just make that known. You get an immediate wrench. If you are if you're not FBA, if you're not ADOS, but you're an advocate, your adversary. I'm not sorry. If you're an ally of one of us, let us know. You support and you get a wrench too. You dig? Because we definitely smoke. I don't know how to be wrench, but I give you one now. But we definitely got love for the West Indians. We got love for Haitians. We got love for Latinos and we got love for Africans who are on code, who support us. It's real simple. Even white folks who support us, we got love for you too. We only got smoke for those who are opposed to what we stand for and our talking points. You become our op when you oppose our stance. Real simple. If you align yourself with our stance, you are a friend. And then we got love for you. But if you set yourself against our stance, you are an op, and we're gonna handle you accordingly. So okay, so Urban, let me throw a wrench at you, my boy. And just because you FBA, you don't have to agree with everything we say. It's okay. You still FBA, you still get a wrench. As long as you don't just wild out. But 420 piece, my boy. So I seen some stuff in the chat I wanted to address. I'm in the backyard. These flies are just flying like hell, man. These things are. Okay, so Urban Commute says, I respect all FBA platforms. I just don't like the Pan-Africans and the liberal channels. Bro, I don't blame you because I don't like most of them either. And I invite them over here to have a conversation, and they do not show up. First time seeing this channel, like what I'm hearing so far. YFG, salute my boy. Let me give you a wrench. This damn fly got away. Hi. Okay. Are you having fun? Yes. What do you want? Yes, what do you want? What? Yes.
A soccer ball.
Okay, I will get the soccer ball. Yeah, that's the kitchen. Yeah, that's right. It's you can't see it. It's in the corner, but the dog is not in the cage right now. He's out. She's out she's a girl. She's out roaming around.
Somewhere. Is she in the house?
Yeah, she's just laying down somewhere. That's all.
On the bed?
On the floor, not the bed. That's what dogs like. Look at your dog. Yeah, lay on the damn trampoline. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah. Are you ready?
That smoke is right there.
Oh, I see it. Okay, that's cool.
The animals to die.
Yeah, but well, animals don't go near fire.
Yeah.
They run away from fire because fire burns and it kills. What? Oh yeah, I got headphones on. Okay, so you guys go that way. You want the soccer ball too? Are you gonna share it with him? Okay. Okay, so you guys go play. I'll get the soccer ball for you. Okay. Okay, go play. I get the soccer ball. That is for bees. For those big bees, I'm gonna spray them with this. This is bee spray. Well, really wasp spray. Okay. Uh, yeah, yeah.
Our yard.
Okay. Well, you call me. I'll get them with the spray. Okay.
Hiding somewhere. Can you go get them?
Yeah. Well, you let me know when you see them, and I'll come get them. Here, drink your water so you guys can go and play. Okay.
But last time I touched one was and he didn't stink.
Well, no, don't touch a wasp. They will sting you.
Sting me.
Yeah. You got lucky, but don't do it again because it hurts really bad, and you can't come outside for 3 days. Then you got to stay in the house, and you can't play. Okay. Okay. Well, you disagree with me, and like one of these tethers in the chat, and you'll see. You will learn the hard way. Okay, go play. Let me kill this. Yeah, we definitely did that. All right, let me get this fly that's flying around here, man. Like a bat without a damn. All right, so let me get YFG a wrench. Hey man, American Dream says much citizens do count in Congress. Blacks became citizens in 1868, so slaves were not. Hey, American Dream. Listen, I don't want to take away your rents because then they're gonna time you out. But bro, make your case. So now it's on you now. Listen, bro, I'm gonna give you 10 minutes. You just said Americans. You just said slaves were not citizens. American Dream. Make your case in 10 minutes. I'm gonna take your wrench and people going to do what they want. Listen, American Dream. Make your case in 10 minutes in the chat. Okay. If you don't, I'm gonna take away your wrench and a family. You can do it. Don't block them, but you could time them out for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 24 minutes. I mean, 24 hours. I don't care what you do, because he's talking, and I don't even know what he's talking about. But dude, make your case in 10 minutes, or I'm gonna take your wrench, and the chat can time you out for 2 minutes, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, or 24 hours. Okay. But I'm giving you a chance to make your case, what you just said. All right. So now I'm gonna finish the video. Hey, peace, K Boogie. Let me give you a wrench, my boy, or my sister. I don't know what you are, but I think you're my boy. Let's see. It's in fly right here, man. All right, let's go.
You don't. To be clear,
Look
we're
at this coon.
officially done with things I agree with section. I
Dang.
dislike everything covered in the rest of this video.
Ricardo, you already know, my boy. So he's a critic. He's a
I owe
critic. He's a
y'all some
critic
proof
of
for
Tariq
a couple
Nasheed.
of things I said
Let's hear him
earlier.
out.
Here's the official FBA website. I told y'all he built this, and at the bottom it says Foundational Black Americans. Let's throw that joint in the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office site.
Okay, so already, look, I got a whole video explaining the whole trademark thing. So now I went to this dude's channel and I challenged him to come over here and let's talk one-on-one, 1v1, right? Let's talk about this trademark thing that he has an issue with. I was definitely in his chat. See, chat, you got to understand the average human, the average American have not researched like me. So I'm at a huge advantage when I invite them over. Okay. So now he's going to type in a trademark thing and make a stupid ass fallacious argument when I already have a whole video. I might even play it on the live. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let him go. Then I'm gonna play my video on a trademark how it's very intelligent to trademark something like FBA ADOS, American Freedmen.
And boom. That's your boy, right? Just in case you needed more proof, the earliest recorded mention of the site's URL happened on October 7th of 2020 when he was trying to sell y'all FBA mini flags. The earliest mention of the term is hard to pinpoint, but he was using it on another one of his sites in 2019. Here's proof of him creating the term in the first place, claiming he adapted it from Dr. Claude Anderson's Native Black Americans term. The FBA movement started as Tangibles 2020 in the lead up to the 2020 election.
Man, we don't need to be on no ADOS, man. We need to be Pan-Africans. That's what Pan-Africanism is. Us fighting for everybody else to come over here and get some of the resources that we've helped accumulate for them. And then they turn around and say, okay, thank you, Wakata. And I'm about to go work with these white people.
Back then, Tariq was in lockstep with the ADOS movement, led by attorneys Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore. ADOS has their own problems, right-wing and white supremacist backing, demanding reparations from Africa as a continent. Rapper Talib Kweli penned a Medium article in 2019 called Why ADOS is Trash that included 2 segments that help prove this point. The first is from when ADOS followers misidentified his heritage after he criticized their co-founder Yvette Carnell, saying he's Haitian and telling him to go back. Talib Kweli is from Brooklyn, and his parents aren't immigrants. Stay tuned for them doing that to me 2 weeks ago. The second is about how ADOS, and now FBA, love targeting liberals and progressives like Ta-Nehisi Coates, Kamala, Cory Booker, Bernie Sanders, and every other critic of Trump because Dems have taken the black vote for granted. That's absolutely true. But Kweli says that when you target Dems like that, you're letting the GOP slide. I agree 100%. Yvette got this rolling when she attacked Talib out of nowhere in 2019. His tweet was pro-reparations and anti-Trump, saying he prefers a plan for reparations over withholding our votes and letting Trump win again. She slammed him for being a loud and wrong celebrity. How? He agrees with you. Oh, wait. Maybe you support Trump.
Right. Now, you know that video is deleted.
That I think is even more beloved than Tariq Nasheed. I remember people actually being more mad at me that I had a vet in the thumbnail.
Okay, family, this dude is making the most dumbest argument possible. Give me a second. I'm gonna get the soccer ball for the kids so they can play, and then I'm gonna cook on these guys.
Than Tariq Nasheed. But the thing is, the data is already shown. There's already research that's shown that she is compromised. She does specifically back the MAGA set, not even like conservative, not even conservative with a small c that we know we people that are darker than blue do have. I'm from the Caribbean. I ain't gonna gaslight you into thinking that like I did not grow up in a conservative Caribbean household. Right. I'm not gonna act like I didn't. But no, they're Yvette and Tariq and them was specifically trying to align themselves with the MAGA sect brand. And a lot of it also, if you do like the research and you follow the money, Nazi-backed MAGA sapien type branding. So like, who is this in service of?
Very serious accusation, Potter.
No evidence. I appreciate that, Foreign. I was going to have to talk about this anyway. So Yvette served on the board for a group called Progressives for Immigration Reform, which was a fake progressive front organization linked to essentially a Nazi, a white nativist, white supremacist, and eugenics supporter named John Tanton. His goal was to limit black and brown immigration. This organization she served on built websites that accused immigrants of being responsible for things like traffic, overconsumption, and other environmental problems. They've also increased friction between ADOS/FBA and black immigrants, as we're going to show a lot more of in the video. The ultimate goal here is to delay a black or brown majority population in the country for more years. Also, big shout out to Ole for throwing me the alley-oop with this research. We all love you. Thank you so much.
The day that I posted that picture and wrote my article about her wearing a MAGA hat, she deleted her video where she wore the MAGA hat.
Anyway, suffice to say, FBA copied most of ADOS' playbook, but made it worse somehow. I got to show y'all the site for Tangibles 2020 real quick because it supports my prior argument about Tariq selling anything at every chance he gets. First, we hit the homepage and find yet another weird company launched by Tariq called #FirstThem. Their argument is that there's corporate sponsored movements rising up in the entertainment industry around sexual misconduct, and that these movements are unfairly targeting black entertainers. The site goes on to say that there's allegedly hundreds of accused sexual predators from the dominant society, aka white people, and that they're being skipped over. Okay, so #FirstThem is really them first. Considering this main part of the site was built out in April of 2019, and the Me Too movement popped off over the 2 years prior, that's definitely what he was referring to. Let's see how many high-profile black people were implicated by that movement. 3. Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, and Morgan Freeman. 3 out of 9 or so high-profile celebrities, with the rest being white or Jewish. Most of y'all watching this are just now hearing about Morgan Freeman's harassment accusations right now. By the way, he accepted responsibility for it. So it's probably just one of the other 2 that he's caping for. Most of y'all have been watching me long enough to know that I wasn't guessing. Here, he says he's not trying to minimize the actions of R. Kelly after John Legend says Kelly deserves the Weinstein treatment. In the next tweet, he agrees unequivocally that they're on the same page. Kelly deserves to be punished on the same level as Weinstein. 10 days later, he tweets about an unsubstantiated case where a sex offender pretended to be a woman to lure a victim, then quotes himself and implies that R. Kelly ain't that bad in comparison. How are 9 counts of sex crimes and human trafficking not worse than that? I guess I shouldn't expect much from somebody who wrote a Mackin handbook for incels. We'll get to that, I promise. This is the most important part. How we help. Simple. You got to donate and buy some merch. There are no more specifics about where the money goes. They claim there's volunteer opportunities and fundraising initiatives, but we couldn't find anything to back that up. If y'all need proof that this is Tariq's site, clicking one of these sweaters takes me to a page with Tariq Elite in the URL. It's his personal Shopify account. Don't get whiplashed as I take you back to the #Tangibles2020 tab, because this is not going to feel like the same site. These are the same talking points we've heard within the black community since before I was born.
We've been neglected by Democrats. They lump us in with other minorities who benefit from it more than we do. And we're not voting unless we get tangibles. Jive, turkey.
I promise I'm taking this seriously. As usual, the only way to get involved is to hit his PayPal. Brief timeout. To organize the rest of this video, we're going to roll out the first 6 of the 10 stages of genocide. Yeah, I put grift in the title because he doesn't want to get anyone killed. He just happens to be agitating an intraracial war so he can profit from the FBA side while using the same blueprint as some of history's worst dictators. Like, if Hitler was way less persuasive and only concerned with getting enough money to hire models for a music video.
Okay. Yeah.
Still crying.
Okay, well, he stopped now. Okay, go over there and play. Don't do that. You're going to be dirty. Okay, so go over there in the grass and play with the soccer ball, okay? Don't do that. You're going to be dirty and stinky. Okay, so go play over there. Yeah. Yeah, don't go in there. You're going to need water. You keep crying. You got to stop crying. Okay, she's very fast, so you got to keep up with her. What is that? Okay. Uh-oh. Tell me over here. Hey, give me. All right. So what is this fool talking about? Like, I'm hearing Hitler. I'm hearing a whole bunch of. Now, let me point this out. A family, do not let anybody, I don't care if they're FBA, a tether, a white supremacist, transgender, don't let anybody make you feel bad of making money off your own people. Okay, that's a old bullshit argument. So you're telling me everybody can make money off of us but us? No, Black Wall Street, Rosewood, all those successful Maggie Lena Walker, Madam C.J. Walker, you name them, they were making money off of Black people, foundational Black Americans. So the whole Black Reconstruction was about FBAs making money off FBAs. So when Tariq Nasheed or you or I want to make money off FBAs, that is our right, and we're supposed to do it. Hispanics, when they have those food trucks, when they have their restaurants or construction or landscaping business, they're trying to make money off each other. So don't let some coon like my boy right here talking or Tether or white supremacists make you feel guilty about making money off your own people or Tariq Nasheed. Yes, we need to make money off each other. That's how Black Wall Streets are started. We're not going to feel guilty. That won't work, my boy.
Very long story short, he soon fractured off from #Tangibles 2020 and formed FBA, using a lot of the core ADOS principles, reparations, delineation from Black immigrants being the main two. In my opinion, he did this because he realized he'd be better off creating and leading his own movement to sell more terrible films and merch to. Another fractured group called Secure the Tribe later broke off of FBA. Because of course they did. We've already covered the definition of FBA, but now we get the backstory behind why they're separating themselves from other people descended from slaves in the Caribbean. The site claims that almost a century before slaves touched down in America, a Spanish colonizer named Lucas Vasquez de Ayllón brought the first documented enslaved people to what's now the coasts of South Carolina and Georgia. This is widely confirmed by the historian community. There were about 100 of them, and a revolt followed weeks.
Hey, Carmen, let me know. Carmen, are you Carmen X? Are you FBA, a supporter, or you are a critic? So, because I'm gonna give you a wrench if you're a supporter of the FBA. If you're a critic, I'm gonna leave you where you are.
Weeks after they touched down, there were likely both free and
if you're a critic, just be honest, and I will send you the phone number to call in and express whatever thoughts you have.
Enslaved Black people in America before 1619.
Okay, I get it.
This article by Dwayne Johnson of the Valdosta Daily Times summed it up best. Apparently, Christopher Columbus wrote some of the potential evidence in his own journal.
Hey, this guy's just wasting time right now.
You go to California, the Ohlone Indians, the Mojave
Blacks in this country. Those obviously look like African features, but evidence like this is always debatable. Why couldn't Olmec statues be depicted as late to is still a theory?
Like I said, I already sent this dude an extension to have a dialogue with myself. We'll see. I sent it today. We'll see. But I highly doubt they rarely ever CLR he pulled up, but that rarely happens.
People were to say on the site that you aren't considered FBA if your mother and father descend from slavery in the Caribbean.
The Black American has grievances.
Yeah.
I mean, wait, what's your point about that? I don't get that.
Hair that looks like weaves.
This is the guy whose ideology you want to follow. The guy with 25 sales links in every video description.
Yeah, again, you're not gonna make us feel bad making money doing commerce with each other. That's how the dollar circulates. As a matter of fact, family, I have information. I gotta make a video about how the dollar circulates, like how many times it must go around to build a successful suburban type of community. I even got it where how many times it circulated during our most prosperous communities like Black Wall Street and Tulsa, Oklahoma. I think it circulated about 18 times. And if I can recall, I think it has to circulate about 10 times or close to that, 8, 9, 10 times for a community to like thrive, successfully, suburban wise. But to be like, really, really wealthy millionaires, about 18 times. So how is the dollar circulating if we're not making money and we're not offering services and products with each other? How do you expect the dollar to circulate? I mean, this is just stupid, retarded logic, and I see why they don't accept my invitation.
His Cash App is in there 3 times. Gets way worse than that. Let's keep going. I already told y'all at least one parent needs to come from a non-immigrant background in America to qualify as FBA.
That's common sense. I mean, even we say that. But I gave Harold, I gave you a wrench, my boy. Just go ahead and like the video, subscribe. Devin Edwards, let me know if you're FBA or you're a supporter, you're ADOS, or you're a critic. Let me know. Just be honest. Okay.
He goes on to say on the site that you aren't considered FBA if your mother and father descend from slavery in the Caribbean.
That's a fact.
The Black American has grievances.
Yeah.
The only problem now is how those grievances are then, of course,
Laura's coming back out
onto the
Laura's coming back outside.
Yeah.
the wrong victims.
100%.
And often folks like myself that have an accent or that, you know, have a Bahamian flag or a Jamaican flag inside their bio or a Nigerian flag inside their bio, that iconography and whatnot means something. And because it's so hard to punch vertically. I'm a fighter, so like I say, it's hard. You ain't got enough reach. Your arms are short, you know, and white supremacy is tall.
Yeah.
You get me? The white institution is a very puissant, towering figure. You get me?
Okay, so I already know where he's going because I'm very intelligent. So he's saying, so his stance is white supremacy is so vertically up that we can't reach them, so we're going to punch down to tethers. My boy, hey, chat, let me make this very clear. Tethers are team white supremacy. There's no difference. They're just not white. If they were white, we would call them a white supremacist. If they're Indian, Chinese, Hispanic, or Black, and they're immigrant and they're against us, they're a tether. That's all. But you're still team white supremacy. You still borrow the arguments of white supremacists. You're not separate from them. Just because we call you a tether doesn't mean you're not an advocate of white supremacy. So when we punch at you, we're still punching up. White supremacists protect you. They vouch for you. So he's trying to say we can't punch up, so we punch down. No, we don't. If you, again, only when you speak against us, we're going to get you. You understand that? Why do you think you can attack us and we can't punch you in the face? Like, this is tether, like Babel 101.
So, like, you trying to punch up, and you can't reach.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can punch sideways.
I'm going to give you a wrench, my boy.
I can punch horizontally. And what's
make
next
sure you
to you
just like the video and
horizontally?
subscribe. I got you.
Black Caribbean people, Africans.
I told you, I never seen his video, and I already know he was going. No, bro, you guys are you're repeating the talking points of white supremacy. You even got FBAs like Candace Owens, Larry Elder, and Thomas Sowell, who repeats the talking points of white supremacists. You dig? They're team white supremacy too. We don't do that. If you're FBA, but you repeat the talking points of white supremacists, you're team white supremacy. What the fuck?
You know, like even you know, you get out of them Latinos, you see what's going on in LA. So that's and that goes across genders and whatnot too. Like the Black man feels invalidated by his experience being in the States, being emasculinized by the white American. And what does he do to take out his frustration with capital?
Now again, family. I don't know who this guy is, but when I reach out to these guys for a conversation, they don't tap in. Okay, they don't tap in, and some of my videos do better than theirs. So there's no excuse. Like I don't have views because you guys support me and you guys actually like the video. I'm doing my videos are better than theirs or up with theirs. So we're like equals. Or I'm doing better. So like there's no excuse to like dodge a conversation with me at all. Okay, thanks to you guys liking the video and pulling up when I go live. Because you guys give me leverage to get these guys on. That's why I got CLR on. You did, because you guys liking the videos and supporting. I got certain views that I use for leverage when I talk to these damn tethers and coons and white supremacists to get them over here.
With all these other things, he doesn't try to fight that system.
Right.
He fights the Black woman.
Yeah.
You know, he fights his partner. That
okay. Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about projection? Oh my God.
That's the problem. Right anger, justified anger. Nobody will ever contend with that.
This is all projection.
Wrong punching bag.
Okay, To everybody who
That's
listens
all
to Tariq
projection.
or never took African American history in school or had this part conveniently removed from their textbooks, the transatlantic slave trade brought African people from their continent.
Yeah, exactly. Carmen X. This guy said ladies. Like Tariq Nasheed, like favors ladies over like foundational Black American ladies over foundational Black American men. Like he gives like ever since you want to talk go back to Flex days, he always put women on a black women on a pedestal over the black men. So I'd be killing me when they make the argument he's against black women. I'm like the first to take that challenge. Like, yo, really? Let's get it. Okay. Yeah, let me hear that. Because he always used to always say back when he did he always put women on a pedal, black women. Back when he did Ustream, he would always want the ladies to call in. Before there's a such thing of a tether, before the such thing as an FBA ADOS, he always wanted to hear from the ladies more so than men. So when people make that case, I'm like, all right, bro, please call in and please point me to a video where he was anti black women. Like you guys mixing him up with Tommy Sotomayor clearly or Myron Gaines. But I would love to hear your video link of Tariq against black women, and you don't have one. This is why they disregard my invitation, to come over and let's chop it up.
To the Americas and Brazil. Some went directly to the Caribbean, some directly to the colonies, but all were subject to being resold at any time. One of the countries.
No. The reselling only happened over here in America, my boy. Again, I don't know what history book you read, but the reselling, there's a difference between colonization and slavery. And because I'm him, you guys know my my talking point, my phraseology. I always say I'm him and you are whoever you want to be, but you're not him. You're not her. I'm him. All right. Because I'm him, I have a grasp of history that's accurate, that's supported by Google, Wikipedia, ChatGPT. You guys hate Google. You guys hate Wikipedia. You guys hate ChatGPT because you don't have solid information. You dig? Shit, my information aligns up with ChatGPT, Google, and Wikipedia. So, bro, I would love for you to have this dialogue with me, but they don't do it. And when they come over here, they all get humble or they just talk over me because they checked out. So what happens is, fam, like the guy from last night, they talk over me because they wanted to get kicked out. That's why they do it. They want to get kicked out. They want to just make it a mud-slinging contest and then get kicked out. And then that's the excuse. Oh, he kicked me out. Then let's have a civil conversation. You dig? Talk your talk. Shut up. Let me go. I'll shut up and you go. But let's respond to what each other is saying. Don't ignore what I'm saying. I'm definitely going to respond to what you're saying.
Countries that never gets brought up for buying enslaved people. Canada, just as an example. Portugal was the most active transporter. That plantation in Brazil was theirs.
Okay.
They were brought to the Caribbean plantations and American plantations.
Yes,
and
sir.
Shipped to Brazil
I am six. Let me give you a
Nova Scotia. And anywhere else there was an established trade relationship and demand for cheap labor. Tariq's rules for FBA lineage heavily rely on a separation between those descended from Caribbean slavery and those descended from American freedmen.
Yeah, all right, Devin, I got you with a
This
wrench.
rule
I give y'all wrench, guys. This is like the video.
Ignores
that's all.
That people cross between these plantations all the time. Enslaved people were sold off to the Caribbean after working in America because Haiti had high demand. And they were sent there as punishment too, since conditions were reportedly more brutal on those plantations. This is the best part. Lincoln even tried to send these freedmen Tariq wants to focus on to Haiti to get them the hell out of his face. Lincoln did not want a bunch of free Negroes wandering around the U.S. The attempt failed, but a basic review of history would have told you that plenty of people with the exact same ancestry as you ended up on those islands at a sheer chance after putting in work in the States. If your claim for hoarding all the imaginary reparations checks depends on FBAs building the foundation of this country, shouldn't anybody who did that work be included? You'd think so if this was based on logic, but it's not. Even if there were zero significant intersection between slavery in the Caribbean and the founding years of the chattel slavery system in the U.S., which is categorically impossible, this clown goes on to claim it's easy for all FBAs to find and produce their paperwork in order to qualify as part of the lineage.
Like
so
really
there's
weird.
some kind of deliberate
The
play
mother of
going
everybody
on
over
here.
there.
So that's very
Yeah,
dangerous.
she waved, but
Well, it was
they really
dangerous
weird.
because now we're doing
I wish they
paperwork
could be
checks
honest.
now.
And come out
He
and say
cites the
what they want to say.
1900 census too, since it provided more information, as if some of us weren't
No.
displaced
He waved
or
one
our
time.
paperwork
That's
lost to time. As if a census conducted in 1870 could ever account for the
waved one
full
time.
extent of the atrocities
In the front.
committed during slavery. As if our ancestors hadn't scattered all over the planet by then. And as if the federal government could ever be trusted to create and operate the entire department it would require to process and verify all these people. How are they going to stop Rachel Dolezal?
Yeah, they went in and out.
Ernie's
Yeah, I seen
good,
them.
but how are they going to stop Kenny Smith? Why would
But
you
like,
want the feds
we
to have
didn't
the
cross
power to further classify
paths,
and
you know what I mean? But
exclude
I see them
huge
in and out.
sections of the black population in the first
Huh?
place? The fuck you talking about? Did you think this
Like, look at
through
the
for
car.
longer
I
than it
went
takes you to create one of your terrible ass AI thumbnail
walking in,
having
they
ass
were
YouTube videos?
leaving or
Oh,
coming
by
back.
the way, this is stage 2, symbolization.
I see the man. The dude. He came
As
out
we
early.
scroll
When I
down
got
this
earlier,
page, let's
he
clock
came
all the
out earlier.
demeaning and exaggerated ways
But
he's
we
depicted
didn't-
immigrants, as
We
compared
didn't make eye contact to wave whatever.
Meet the game-changing Draw Me bot by PhotoMaster. Our cutting-edge AI technology creates incredible personalized
their
drawings
daughter?
your guests will love. They can choose a classic sketch
Oh,
or a
them,
bold,
he's
fun
them.
caricature, head
I ain't
only,
seen him today.
half body, full body, and even with a custom background.
Next, bring it to the right. The guy that
Want to draw your pet? No problem.
The guy with
Want
the
to join
daughter
in
who
with a
works
friend or
at
two?
Premier.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every drawing is
Nah,
instant
the
and high
EZL
quality,
guy, no.
turning every
You say
event into
EZL,
a
no, you
revenue
talking.
opportunity. It's
white
professional,
car, I know
it's
you
fun,
talking.
and it makes every guest feel like a star. The new Draw Me bot by PhotoMaster, where creativity meets profitability. Book
No,
your
I
demo
did see
today.
the white car. The white car did come. It did come. I seen it, but I didn't, stay around and see. Yeah. So I seen it come, but I wasn't outside long enough.
to how he depicts
I didn't go out in the front.
FBAs.
It was-
Indian working at a gas station, bug-eyed Africans, dirty Africans, crazy Jamaicans, etc.
Marcus Vincent Thomas.
Notice the AI version of himself is pristine. This is what Trump would do more often if he knew how computers
who's gonna
work.
apply?
It gets worse as it goes.
Utah.
He provides rules about the status of half FBAs, saying they can't be taken
Utah,
seriously if their
no.
non-FBA
They gonna
parent
get him,
moved here after
Find
1970,
out.
unless they have a verified track record of loyalty and tangible contributions. Y'all might be asking, but
Oh, they
Tariq,
got him.
why would the
Wow.
year matter if their other parent is
I know,
full
but
FBA?
I didn't believe it because they like.
This is
white
when you
boys.
get hit with the most unserious, unscientific claim on this whole site. The African and Caribbean
Right.
immigrants
Yeah, you
before
think-
that time frame
Yeah, you think white
had a
boys.
different collective disposition in relation to FBA. Translation, their vibes were off. He goes on to
Right.
explain that people
Yeah,
like
I'm
Marcus
telling you,
Garvey,
they like
who
white
was
boys over there.
Jamaican, and Malcolm X, whose mother was from Grenada, are
Hell
seen
yeah,
as
they gonna open
icons
white
to
boys. Go sit over
FBAs.
here. I bet-
After
all these niggas white
1970,
boys every
the
year.
FBI's
Sit down
COINTELPRO
with your
program
label. Sit
sowed
down.
division among black organizations. True.
Mhm.
And the U.S.
They
government
wanted
allocated
Cuban flag
tangible
the most.
resources to immigrant groups instead of us. Unsubstantiated. He claims this incentivized non-FBAs to collaborate with white supremacists and sabotage FBA progress. Conspiracy theory. By the way, 21%
Hey, but Earl,
of
that
our
works
black
in your
population
theory,
in the
though.
U.S. has at
Um,
least one immigrant parent.
Earl, that works
Some of
in
y'all seriously want to see FBA or ADOS on the ballot,
your
which would be like
crazy.
cutting off one of our
Perfect
legs.
team.
So white supremacist wet dream. I assume over
Yeah, he
99%
was
of black
trying,
immigrants
whatever.
watching this video were
Yeah.
born after 1970. So please tell me if Tariq is right about your disposition towards all of us in the comments. I'm sure he's right about some immigrants.
They
I'm not
compare him to
denying that an
Brady.
individual immigrant can have a negative disposition
He can
towards us.
drive. He
The
got potential.
generalizations are a frequent weapon of his,
He
though,
took the ball. He
and
was on
I'm
the
sick of
ground
it.
crying.
It's always an invalid argument to reduce
throwing a
a
fit.
vibrant, multifaceted community down to one person that hurt your feelings on the internet.
As long as he like,
You don't see me
stays
calling
working
everybody
out,
on earth named
don't give-
Marcus
you know
a
what I mean?
divisive
Stay
narcissist.
working out.
That's
Stay
just
trying to
you,
get
bro.
better.
Congratulations. If you're still watching
He'll be
this,
there.
your certificate for FBA 101 is in the mail. Now is vocab time.
That's gonna be
I'd like to introduce y'all to Tariq's favorite slur.
The tethering, the cultural
So it's smoke.
parasitism and
So the
tethering
one we
needs
lit
to
is
be
the smoke right
checked.
now.
Sometimes he
The
pairs
other
it with
one,
anchored for extra spice. He has
the other
slurs on
one
the
is
site, like the
smoke
tether
too.
and the anchored tether.
The other
It's
one pretty
on the
much done,
site.
but
Like
the big one is
The
smoke.
anchored tether?
anchored
But
tether
and
is what
so
he calls it.
that's what's
He ain't let
interesting.
her.
It reminds
He
me of
took it.
incels. You know,
Yeah.
I have a lot of background with like the alt-right research and the
Go
alt-right
sit
and
down.
stuff like
Let
that.
me finish up. Yeah.
And
Yeah, I said I'll be
all of
nice. I
these
said share with him.
alternative
She sat down and rolled the ball so he rolled it back.
intellectual
But
spaces that lean into
she is a bully. Okay.
toxic habits of, you know, harassment, conspiratorial thinking, antisocial
Okay, Yugi, sit
community
down. Get
building.
your food.
They
Okay,
all
it's
are
about to be
built
ready.
with the
8:49. I'll be
same
right back in
general
7 minutes.
like structures
Yeah.
and attract the same type of people, disaffected young men, with marginal social, economic, and, you know, romantic opportunities.
Oh yeah.
Looking for community.
Hey, I'm not gonna play this whole video. I just noticed this video is an hour. Look at it. It's an hour and 33 minutes. We 33 minutes in. You dig? It's a whole hour. I'll do a part two on this full. Hey, peace, Moon Eyes. Uh, um, Mary Lanier. I believe you're FBA. I'm gonna rent you up. You dig? All you guys got wrenches. All I ask is just like the video. That's it. That's an easy obligation. You dig? All right, so let's move to the next video. Okay, so this is the brother I was speaking about who promotes like our values, FBA values. This is Dr. Rashad Ritchie. Okay, so now this is important because listen what he's going to say. This is breaking news to him. It's not breaking news to me as like a thorough researcher. Listen to this.
Candace Owens regrets voting for Donald Trump, regrets telling other people to support Donald Trump. Hell of a thing. Here it is.
Are you done with Donald Trump, or could you see a way that you would end up perhaps voting for him? Oh, you can't run again, obviously, but would you support him publicly again?
So I want to be clear. I don't regret voting for Donald Trump above Kamala. I think he was the better candidate, certainly a better candidate above Joe Biden. But what I will say is that he's been a chronic disappointment. And I feel embarrassed that I told people to go vote for him because this wasn't going to happen and it is happening.
Yeah, so I don't know the argument in the chat, but I am going to say that enslaved people were not citizens. Okay, so if that's the argument, then American is correct. All right, so I'm just going to call a spade a spade. So if the argument is that enslaved people were citizens, okay, before Emancipation Proclamation, I'm gonna call cap on that. We were not citizens. This is why Dred Scott got an unfavorable ruling. You dig? No, we were not citizens. Okay, we were citizens after 1865. So chat, that's a real easy argument. It's okay. You don't got to win every point. You dig? But if that's the argument, we were not citizens before 1865. We were not citizens as slaves. That's 100% false. That's cap. We became citizens after the Civil War. We literally fought for our citizenship in the war. We were the only people in this country to actually shed blood for citizenship. Well, outside of the early British subjects who came over here and fought against the British Empire. I'm talking about outside of those folks. Like we were the only people who actually went to war for citizenship outside of the early white folks who rebelled against the British government. All right. But that's an easy, let's just get past that. Just concede. And if that was the argument, that's not a good argument. We were not citizens. But so let me explain this Candace Owens thing. Okay, for me, it's not surprising that Candace Owens and other conservatives are against Donald Trump. Let me explain. Okay, the average conservative, they have a playbook. Okay, I don't know the entire playbook, but I know some of their plays in their playbook. And a major play in their playbook is that they are against Israel. They are anti-Semitic. This is why they call Tariq Nasheed and always try to get him to condemn Jewish people and join the anti-Semitic bandwagon, which he never falls for. Okay, he's focused on the task, white supremacy. He did national or global white supremacy. It does not work for him. But that is a talking point. That's a major play of conservatives, is to be anti-Israel, anti-Semitic. So Trump is siding with Israel against Iran and Palestine. So of course the conservatives like Candace Owens and whoever else out there, of course they're going to be anti-Trump, anti-Biden, anti-Obama, anti-anybody who sides with Israel. So you just got to know the playbook of the conservatives, and it will not surprise you what Candace Owens is saying. So there you go. I'm qualified. I'm a real researcher, a real thinker. I'm an independent researcher. I'm a First Amendment auditor as well.
That means she regrets voting for him. Put it up full mass.
Okay, so just one more time. No slaves were citizens. I mean, that discussion should end right now. You can do what you want to do, but there were no slaves that was a citizen. That's not even debatable. I mean, it's a bad argument. But it does not mean we're not right on other things. But that one thing right there, if that's your position, you're wrong. We were not citizens as a slave. All right, so let's move on. Let's focus on Candace Owens' goofy ass.
Candace, you are talking out of both sides of your ass. If you are embarrassed about voting for somebody and you regret basically because of this embarrassment, telling other folk to support said person because they broke the promises they made, that means, Candace, come with me, you regret voting for Trump. This is not about Trump over Biden.
This channel right here, this is indisputable with Rashad Ritchie. You see, he got 1.29 million subscribers. Let me put his link in the chat. You guys can subscribe if you want. But they got good content. He's definitely pro FBA in our position. So there you go. That's the link in the chat is his. All right. So now let's move on from there. I just want to point out that Candace Owens speaking against Trump, that's not surprising to me. I know the conservative playbook. They are anti-Israel. They are anti-Israeli. They are anti-Semitic. You dig? Okay, because they take the same position as the Klan. Like, they're just passive Klan members. That's all. All right, let's move on. Okay, so Umar, I think he did kind of all right right here. His interview, he supposedly debated Elon Musk's daddy. I didn't care about that, but some things he hit on, I believe he was spitting some fire. So let's check it out.
Father gave him some startup money.
Absolutely. White privilege. Nobody is working their way up from their boots.
Kwame is a distraction in the chat. Like, Kwame won't speak to the topic.
Scraps. The biggest lie white people ever told black people is you got to work your way up from the bottom. Nothing could be further from the truth. Most Caucasians, they will internally finance each other. And I'm not going to criticize them for that. That's what you're supposed to do. The problem is black people, we don't finance each other. Most Caucasians, and even when we look at Indians and Arabs, Latinos, and East Indians, Bobby David, most of them finance their startups off of private capital. They don't have to go and struggle with Wells Fargo. They don't have to go and struggle with Bank of America and Chase Manhattan. Their own people will finance them.
That's right. As a matter of fact, we have the opportunity to open up our own banks. We don't have to go to other banks. We can start our own banks.
Absolutely, absolutely. And to be honest with you, here is why black America is stuck at the crossroads. We can only go one direction or the other. The one direction is we can keep on begging America to do what she's absolutely not going to do, or we can go in the other direction where we bring our pennies and dollars and nickels and dimes together, and as you said, create our own credit union first en route to starting our own bank. I believe they raised the amount of money you need to start a credit union. Before it was $250,000. Mm-hmm. I think now they want $500,000. But that is nothing compared to the money we spend frivolously on all types of unnecessary garbage. So black America is either going to save itself was going to die a brutal and painful death. As the right, excellent, most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey said, no one can destroy the Negro. Except the Negro himself.
Boy, are we doing a great job at it. I mean, not great, but we're doing a fantastic job at destroying ourselves. And we're going to talk about some of that. But I'm still curious as to what did Elon Musk's father have to say in the debate? What are some of the questions or what are some of the points that y'all had to debate?
The debate topic was, does Africa still need its colonizers? Can Africa survive without neocolonialism? In other words, do we still need the white daddy to hold our hands as we walk through independence? And unfortunately, Baba David, I was not informed by Oxford Union that I will be debating Elon Musk's father. I found out the night before when I spoke at Manchester University in Manchester, England, and one of the students who hosted my talk at Manchester University.
Dad, come on, let's go.
I'm working on it.
From watching her first hockey game,
Pulled up a flyer on his Instagram, and he said, "Are you ready to debate?"
Okay, so of course I'm talking on mute. So I wanted to tell you that 3/5 of a compromise was three enslaved people counted as one. That's just a fact. Like there's no way to debate that. That's a fact. But I want American Dream, you guys to look up phantom constituents. So phantom constituents is about black people who are in prison, right? Who have a residence in New York City, but they are in prison in upstate New York. So if you guys don't know about New York City, upstate New York City is like black populated, it's liberal, but upstate New York is different. That's like kind of like conservative and it's rural. It's like a lot of white people upstate New York. So the prisons are in upstate New York, not in New York City. And for that reason, those rural areas, upstate New York can claim those prisoners as a vote. Okay. They claim them as a vote for that rural county, district, in upstate New York. So even though you got a New York City address, which would be like minority or black or whatever, no, they will claim you as a vote for the rural county, possibly conservative, and that is called a phantom constituent. Okay, so chat, American, listen, man, I know so much I forget. I know so much I forget. Like that's why like none of y'all really can see me. Like I just know I research. I do this for real, for real. I know so much. Phantom constituent. You never heard that terminology ever until right now. Phantom constituents. You guys are not on my level. You should be asking me questions to get information. Stop trying to debate me and get cooked. All right.
Elon Musk's father tomorrow. And I said, I'm not scheduled to debate Elon Musk's father tomorrow. He said, yes, you are. And he showed me his Instagram, and it was me versus Elon Musk. And not only that, there was 2 additional persons on Elon Musk's team, and there was 2 additional persons on my team, an African brother from Southern Africa and a beautiful African sister.
So this will be the last video
that I would be joined by
I'm
2
gonna call
other
tonight
people.
because mosquitoes are biting.
So you know me, I'm always ready.
Tomorrow.
But had I known I was debating
maybe early
him
afternoon
in particular,
same
I
time.
would have been much better prepared. And if I'm going to be absolutely honest with
peace,
you,
Golden Brown, I
Barbara
see you, my
Davis,
boy.
from Black Philadelphian to Black Philadelphian,
I don't vote either, and I'm not saying good or bad. I just don't vote.
Setup, if I'm going
I
to
don't
be
waste
honest.
time. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm not saying I'm right. I just don't
in
vote.
the dark, so I could potentially be made a love. Of course, that did not happen.
Never ever.
Okay, but I think that was the intent, because you cannot explain to me why a debate that I was asked to participate in 2 months ago, that y'all been publicizing and advertising all over
so he's
Europe.
Like, just talking in circles. All right, so fam, I'm out of here. Kwame is back. You dig? Hey, but Kwame, an American, I still want you guys to talk to DJ Focus. He's just dealing with I contacted him today. He's dealing with something like very important. So he's still going through it. My boy, ex-architect. So American and Kwame. So that's the guy I wanted y'all to talk to originally, but he's only available on weekends, like a Saturday around 6 p.m. or a Sunday 6 p.m. Okay, so he wasn't available during the playoffs because he was like gambling, whatever. But he'll be available this Saturday. So Kwame and American, if you're interested in speaking with my boy X Architect, it'll be a Saturday 6 p.m. or a Sunday 6 p.m. But if you want to talk to DJ Focus, that'll be more so a favorable time for you during the week. Even like I gotta see how he's doing, because like I said, he's doing something serious. So I see his schedule for tomorrow morning. He's available mornings, Kwame and American. So if you guys available tomorrow morning, you dig, I would see if he's available and we can talk. All right. And again, I'll be on mute. Like the only involvement I'm gonna do is to moderate so you guys so he won't cut you off and you guys don't cut him off. But I'm not gonna be involved in the conversation until the end, and then I will weigh my information in there. All right. So it won't be no 2v1, it'll just be 1v1. All right. So we out of here. I appreciate all of you, including American and Kwame. Man, we out of here. And Kwame, yo, invite some of those folks you be on the live with over here, man.